pruning is a part of journey. He will prune you by allowing you to go through difficult situations. The early church in the first reading was flourishing, and a lot of people were gathering. With the Cornelius incident, church spread through the pagans, throughout the pagan lands. So a lot of non-circumcised people joined the church, the community. Circumcision is the law of Moses. From Abraham's time, all the Jew male had to be circumcised. And then, so circumcision was part of their life. So when the pagans, they are not Jews, since because they are not Jews, when the pagans joined the church, they wanted some circumcised Jews wanted them to be circumcised after their baptism. So this is another problem that crop up after the normal situation, my dear friends. So it led to arguments, problems, that the first reading beautifully says. Some persons who had come from Judea to Antioch were teaching the brothers in this way: unless you are circumcised according to the law of Moses, you cannot be saved. And there was turmoil, there was problem, there was puzzle. People were completely confused as to what to do. So God will allow such situations in your life. That's part of it. That's exactly pruning, isn't it? Then, because of this, there were trouble, and Paul and Barnabas had fierce argument with them. For Paul told the people to remain as they were when they became believers. Finally, those who had come from Jerusalem suggested that Paul and Barnabas and some others go to Jerusalem to discuss the matter with the apostles and elders. This is exactly how the church build up. This is exactly how you are invited to remain in Him. The church is the true presence of God. That's why he said, Paul, Saul, why do you persecute me? The church become community is his body. So when it comes to Christ is the vine, true vine, and you are the branches. So all of us are invited to be joined to the body of Jesus. So it's important that they remain in the church without breaking and going away with their own teachings. There can be misunderstandings, there can be contradictions, isn't it? There can be arguments. Always life is like that. Even in your family, that's the smallest component of the church. In your family, there can be disputes. But then remain in your family, remain in your community, remain in your parish through difficult situations without leaving. It's important. That's one of the strong ways that you can remain in that vine, remain in Him. So, your remaining means you are being pruned. When you are pruned, when He formed you, if you break away from Him, if you separate yourself from Him, it's dangerous. You will lose the whole point of pruning. So that's exactly what the devil wants you to do in your life, isn't it? That's why the Lord is saying, you are already made clean by the word I have spoken to you. Live in me as I live in you. The branch cannot bear fruit by itself, but also to remain part of the vine. So neither can you if you don't remain in me. So you are the part of the member. You are a member of the church. So St. Paul could have easily built up a Pauline community and gone, isn't it? He had power. He had all the gifts of the Holy Spirit, isn't it? Powerful person. He could have easily gone away from the church and become another pastor. That's not the way. That's not the way at all. Remain in the church. Church has its own ups and downs. Church is full of people. Frail, weak, fragile people. There are arguments. But then we believe God can use those to build up to take you to the other step. They go to Jerusalem. On their arrival in Jerusalem, they were welcomed by the church, the apostles and the elders, to whom they told all that God has done through them. Some believers, however, who belonged to the party of Pharisees, stood up and said that non-Jewish men must be circumcised and instructed to keep the law of Moses. So the apostles and the elders met together to consider this matter. So there's a problem. There is a community problem. There are double standards. People are arguing. It can be in your family also. But then it's important that you remain in the church. Never doubt your marital covenant. Never doubt the foundation. God has called you. None can separate you. There can be terrible, huge issues in your family, in your calling. But then never doubt His calling. It's important. That's exactly what the Lord is saying. I'm the vine and you are the branches. As long as you remain in me and I in you, you bear much fruit. But apart from me, you can do nothing. You can do nothing. So it's important. The unity, your connectedness, it's important. The flock is attacked by the wolf and separates the sheep from the flock and easily attacks the sheep when it is separated. So know the mind of devil. Exactly know it. Your strength is your church. Your strength is your community. It's important that you remain there. Never, with your pride, with your ego, never go away. Paul had to do that. Paul had all the conclusion, all the clues, all the points to argue. But then he was obedient. It's beautiful because in that way, in that unitedness, in that connectedness, in that uniformity, Lord will do wonders in your life. The Lord is saying, if you remain in me and my word remain in you, you may ask whatever you want and it will be given to you. My Father is glorified when you bear much fruit. It is then that you become my disciples. After this argument only, whole church accepted pagans. And they said they don't have to circumcise. And they opened the church to all the universe. And it grew like anything. By that difficulty, pruning will make you bear more fruit and much fruit. Allow that pruning. When you are pruned, of course it is difficult, painful. Wait in Him. He will definitely bless your pain. He will never let your pain go down drain. Think about it. Have a nice day. May God bless you.